Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Tasha Skilimos. Happy to join you guys for another edition of NBA Player Prop Parlay right here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope your week is going well so far. We've got a new day, which means a new NBA Player Prop Parlay to share with you guys. I have a 3-leg parlay tonight that I am particularly excited about, so let's get into it. As always, guys, I primarily use DraftKings as my sports book of choice. That's just my personal preference, but I will show you guys some of these props are available on other sports books as well. So, got a 3-leg parlay tonight, looking pretty good. Starting off the first leg of this 3-leg parlay, we are targeting the Sacramento Kings Charlotte Hornets game, which kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We are going with Terry Rozier of the Charlotte Hornets under 8.5 assists. And if we switch over here to the outlier screen, I'm going to give you guys some examples about why I like this prop. If you guys are new here and you don't know what Outlier is the official sponsor of today's video and all of my NBA player prop videos here on the channel. They are the best sports betting tool on the market, and better than just give you an ad read and tell you why Outlier is great, I like to show you guys how to use it and why it is great. So I'll be switching over to the Outlier screen now to give you all the data, all the insights to why I like this prop. When you use the link in the description below, you get a 7-day free trial to try Outlier out for yourself. I promise you guys, you will not regret it. So here we go. Terry Rozier under 8.5 assists. You get this at minus 127 odds on DraftKings right now. If you come down here, it's fantastic. Right? Each of his last 10 games, he has hit this under of 8.5 assists. A pretty good spot for Terry Rozier. And it's not just his last 10 games. If you even stretch it out to 20 games, he's hit this in 16 of his last 20 games. That's an 80% hit rate. Expanded a little wider to go to the entire season as a whole. In 18 out of 23 games, 78% of his games this season, he is hitting this under of 8.5 assists. So Terry Rozier has been consistently hitting this under, which is really good for us. But there is even more data to show you guys why I like this pick. And thanks to Outlier, one of the many cool features that you can put filters to look for specific stats, specific situations that you want to analyze for these props. So for example, the filter I put in right now, it shows only the home games this season because they are in Charlotte tonight. In 6 out of 9 home games, 67% he's hitting this under. Again, pretty on par with what the most part he's doing. 67% is a little lower than what he's done, but most of the time, most of the games that he has played this season, he's played 14 road games, 9 home games. But at home this season, he's still hitting this at a particularly high rate. This stat, however, is the one that really intrigues me. So this filter I put on is to see what Terry Rozier does when LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward are both not playing, and they are both out for tonight's game. So this is what it looks like for Rozier when those two are out. In all 7 games he's played this season without Hayward and without Ball at the same time, he's hit this in all 7 games, 100% hit rate. But this is not just a this year trend. If you even go back to 2022, without LaMelo Ball and without Gordon Hayward, he hit this in all 12 of the times last season that this happened. So 19 times over the previous 2 seasons, Terry Rozier has played without LaMelo Ball and without Gordon Hayward, and in all 19 instances, 100% hit rate, he hits this under of 8.5 assists. So really great spot. Defensively, the Kings, they're actually one of the better teams in assists allowed. So defensively, not the best matchup. They're giving about 9 assists per game to the point guard position. So not the best matchup defensively for us, what we'd like to see, but the trends, everything points to this number hitting, this under hitting for Terry Rozier. So that's the first leg of our 3-leg parlay. And moving right along here, guys, to the second leg of our 3-leg parlay, we are looking at the Denver Nuggets Utah Jazz game, which kicks off at 10 p.m. Eastern. We are going with John Collins of the Utah Jazz over 18.5 points plus rebounds. Again, the numbers do not lie. He has covered this in 7 of his last 10 games, including each of his last 5. He has covered this number of over 18.5 points plus rebounds. I actually, when I first looked at this prop, I was going to look to take an alternate line to bring that number down, but he is hitting this enough at a high enough rate at this number now that I can confidently bet this. And at minus 125 odds, it's a really good prop for really good value. If you look at the 2023 season as a whole, he's hitting it at an 82% rate. 28 out of 34 games. You saw it in the beginning of the year, he was hitting this, oh my God, so much. The last 20 games or so, you see the number starts to dip a little bit. He has a couple misses, but overall, 82% hit rate this season. He has covered it in each of his last 5 games. So a really good spot here for John Collins. And when you look at the head-to-head, he did cover the last time that they played the Denver Nuggets on October 30th of this year. He hit this over of 18.5 points rebounds. He had 15 points and 9 boards the last time they played Denver in October. So he's already done it once against Denver this season. Personally, I think head-to-head is a very important stat to talk about in every video because it does give you a picture of what they can do against the team. I forgot to mention in the Terry Rozier prop as well, one more stat to give you for that one. He did hit that under of 8.5 assists the last time they played Sacramento on January 2nd of this year. So he's already hit it once against the Kings. So that's just that one. I forgot to give you the head-to-head for that prop. But on this prop, John Collins has already hit it, which is pretty good. And if you look over here to the right side of the screen defensively, Denver versus power forwards, not that great. They're middle of the road in points allowed. They're giving up just shy of 24 points per game to the power forward position on average, which is about middle of the road. But they are bottom 10 in rebounds allowed to the power forward position, giving up just shy of 11 rebounds per game to opposing power forward. So it's a pretty good defensive matchup for John Collins, the spot that he's covering at an 82% clip this year. I really like this spot. That is the second leg of our 3-leg parlay. And for the third and final leg today, guys, we are targeting the Raptors-Clippers game, which kicks off at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We are going with Pascal Siakam of the Toronto Raptors over 29.5 points, rebounds, plus assists. That is a combo prop. You get that at minus 150 odds on DraftKings. Now, I will be honest, this is a prop that you can only get on DraftKings, this alternate line. Now, I'm sure if you go ahead and go a little higher here, if you go to over 30.5, which is the next one up, it is available on Caesars and BetMGM. But when you take the alternate line and you go just 29.5, it's only available on DraftKings. So if you bet like me on DraftKings, you will get this at this alternate line. He has covered this in 9 of his last 10 games. Obviously, since the OG Anunoby trade, he has stepped up a little bit for this Toronto team. I know they have RJ Barrett, who's been playing very well. They have Emmanuel Quickley, who's been playing very well. But Pascal Siakam has started to turn his season around. He's started to step up. He's covered this in 9 of his last 10 games. You look at the season as a whole, not very great, right? 59% hit rate, 22 out of 37 games. You saw, the first half of this quarter of a season, it was a really slow start to the year for Siakam, but he has completely turned it around. Kind of in line with the timeline of this trade, he has completely turned the season on. The only time in the last 10 games he's missed this over was against Golden State. He had 16.6 rebounds and 6 assists, so he missed it by 2. And that's the only time in the last 10 games that he's failed to cover this over. And if you look at the head-to-head stats, now they have not faced the Clippers yet this year, but each of the last 2 times he played the Clippers dating back to December 2022 of last season, he's covered this each of the last 2 times. You saw the December 27th matchup of 2022. He crushed this number, 36 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. The last time they played back in March, he still hit it when he finished with 31, so he just got over. There is the head-to-head history, and the last 10, even if go to the last 20 games, the 75% hit rate. So he's been hitting it consistently. He's really started to turn his season around, over the last 20 games. I was so excited about the prop, I lost my damn voice. All right, looking on the right side of the screen here, guys. Defensive matchups also a very important reason why I like this prop. You look at versus power forward position, the Clippers right now. Now, they are top 10 in points allowed. They don't give up many points to the power forward position, but they are bottom 10 in rebounds and assists allowed to the power forward position. That is very important for our matchup here. So I do like the spot defensively. Again, points allowed. They don't give up a ton of points to the power forward position, but they do give up a ton of rebounds, a ton of assists. And Siakam has covered this each of the last 2 times he's played the Clippers. So I do like the spot here for Pascal Siakam. All right, guys, so that is it. That is the third and final leg of today's parlay. Look at the right side of the screen here. 3 legs, you combine them all together to get plus 431 odd parlay. Not half bad. If you look over here, you'll see some of these props actually, these aren't as big of alternate lines as I usually take. So you will find some of these props on other books. Again, the only prop you won't be able to get on another book besides DraftKings is the Siakam prop. But this Terry Rozier prop you can get on FanDuel. It's available on Caesars, available on MGM, and even the John Collins prop is available on Caesars and BetMGM. So the only prop, again, that you can't find here besides DraftKings is the Siakam one. The only one that's available on FanDuel for FanDuel users is the Rozier one. So that is it, guys. 3-leg parlay plus 431 odds. That is it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We are very close. We are less than 3,000 away. Help us get there quicker. Until next time, guys, I hope you're all winners. Enjoy the rest of your evening.